Summer has arrived, friends. The week of the summer solstice, it was pretty cloudy and rainy, and I woke up in a kind of a bummed mood as it was another day of waking up to clouds and a chance of rain. And yet I felt called to just start filming the birds outside my window, which led me to venturing outside, and I actually stumbled upon two deer nearly on my doorstep. That certainly lifted my spirits and got me feeling the magic of the morning. The magic of summer. When I think of summer, I immediately think of childhood magic. Being playful and frolicking outside with no shoes and without a care in the world, even watching deer in my apartment complex, not worrying about if my clothes or feet get dirty, and thinking about how my mom would scold me for running around outside barefoot. Life just feels more carefree. There is less to be worried about, and we adopt this lazy, not a care in the world attitude. Perhaps it's because the days are much longer and I don't feel the need to rush. The days feel so long and infinite, I can do anything and everything I want. This feeling of invincibility takes me back to my youth when life seemed so easy. I'm not sure if summer was ever my favorite season because I'm such a fall autumn girl and I really can't stand the heat and humidity. Maybe in high school and as a kid I loved summer, but in my 20s and early 30s, I could care less about summer. But this year, the opening of the summer season is hitting a little different. Perhaps because I am now realizing that my favorite thing about summer is how much daylight there is. Oh, the joy of endless summer days. And I really want to tend to my inner nature girl this season by spending time outdoors as much as I can, whether that's hiking, swimming, or just hanging out on my patio with a cozy book in my hand. I've set the intention to spend less time on my phone consuming media and content and more time reading, creating, socializing, and just being away from technology. So, whether you love summer, hate summer, or maybe it's winter if you're in a different hemisphere, I think it's still important to set intentions for the new season. So, if you've already set some intentions for the summer, I would love to hear them down below in the comments. And if you haven't, I wanted to share some journaling prompts that helped me figure out what I truly need and what matters most to me this summer. So, let's run through them, shall we? How do you want to feel this summer? How would you like to spend your time this summer? What matters most to you this summer? And lastly, what would feel fun to do or work on this summer? Or would you rather just go on autopilot and cruise through the summer days? For some of us, summer can mean rest and slowing down. That is what I am adapting and adding into my life this season. But for some of us, it might be a time where you have a little more time and space to work on goals and projects and you want to rev up and be a little more, busy, or you are just busy because family and work and commitments and traveling. So really kind of see where you're at and set the tone for what you want this summer and let that guide you in terms of your intentions and goals. And my last little spiel will be to remind you guys not to feel pressured to do anything, be anything, work on anything this summer. If you want to do absolutely nothing, that is an intention and a goal in itself. And I've proclaimed for myself that I want to have a slow girl summer because, man, that just feels great, right? So going back to, asking yourself how you want to feel this summer can really help you figure out what to work on or do or set as your focus for this season. So I invite you to become a slow girl, slow boy, slow human summer with me. If that sounds like that's something you need, please join me. I'd love to have you. There are a ton of books that I want to read this summer. Feeling motivated. I'm feeling like it can be done. So as of now, I have 8 books that I want to read over the next 3 months, July, August through September. So I consider September late summer and then early fall, so that transition period. So I want to start with the books that I just showed you guys. I made my first order from Pango Books, which is a used book app, I guess. I've been on it for quite a while, just like browsing, and finally ordered some books from there because I didn't have luck at the used bookstore for some titles that I wanted for this summer. So I got 4 books from one seller. It was an amazing experience, 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend supporting people on there and buying used if you can. So these are the 4 books that I got from Pango Books, and 3 of them I want to read this summer. I'll also preface that the majority of books on this list are romance because I just want to fully immerse myself in summer romance books, but there's a few thrillers and a few other genres as well, so hopefully something for everybody. One Night on the Island by Josie Silver, a romance set in a secluded cabin in Ireland. George and I are going to a cabin in the middle of nowhere in August for vacation, and I'm really excited, so this fits the vibe. I love Josie Silver's
One Day in December I read that, which is like a holiday romance book, so excited for this one. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I wanted to read Yours Truly that just came out because I love the cover. I was gravitated towards it, and then I realized that it's the second book of a series and this is the first book. So obviously I made it a priority to read this book first and found it on Pango, and I started reading it this morning. About 92 pages in, loving it so much. Characters, the plot, the storyline. It's not necessarily like super summery in terms of like it's at a beach or like in a cabin, but it starts out in April and we're like moving through summer, and they mention summer a little bit in the beginning, so it's not like tropey summer romance, but I think it can still give you those like romance vibes if you're looking for that. The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. This is, I guess, a literary fiction, contemporary fiction, so not romance, but I think it has hints of romance in it and infidelity, and I think this will be a good atmospheric book for summer. The cover is pretty. This has been on my TBR since it came out. It is a perfect August morning when Elle Bishop awakens in the backwoods Cape Cod cabin where her family has spent every summer for generations. But yeah, this is what I'm excited about because it's very like secrets and infidelity and like, you know, people who seem like they're good on the outside doing like bad things, which I love. So this will be perfect for summer. Last book in my haul that I don't necessarily want to read this summer, but if I want to, I certainly can, is Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton, which is a thriller. We're throwing a thriller in the mix. So this is definitely not like a summer theme at all, but if I need a thriller, this one could certainly fit the bill. And it also tackles like race relations and gender about two different women, a black woman and a white woman, getting entangled in something, so this could very well be a good summertime thriller. Aside from those Pango books, I have more books to share with you guys. So Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. Is this a book talk book? I don't know. I saw it at the bookstore over the weekend in the book talk section. Obviously drawn to the cover. It's beautiful. It is a very summer romance from the cover, from the plot, and our main character is a people pleaser, so I mean, say no more, right? Next two books I've already read, and they definitely have fit the bill for summer. So Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I just finished it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday at my parents'. So this is like magical realism, fantasy, a little bit of romance, and not summer like per se, but if you want a little like witchy magic added to your summer, this could be great for that like end of summer, early fall transition period, or just anytime. In the great tradition of Ninth House, The Magicians and Practical Magic, this is a suspenseful and richly atmospheric novel that draws readers into a vast world filled with mystery and magic, romance and intrigue, and marks the debut of an extraordinary new voice in speculative fiction. It also has books and libraries and like a little sprinkle of archival magic in it, and I feel like it definitely gave off practical magic vibes, which I love that book and have more of those books that I want to read in that series this fall. Highly recommend this for a witchy summer. Happy Place by Emily Henry. All the rage this summer. I see it everywhere, and I read it a few weeks ago, so this was definitely an early like get me into the summer mood pick for me, and it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. It's definitely not my favorite Emily Henry. I've read all her books, at least all her romance books now, and added this one to my collection and was really excited for it because it takes place in Maine at a cottage. Friends, you know, ex-lovers to lovers trope, which is a very classic like Emily Henry, you know, vibe, but it just did not execute very well. I still think it's worth a read. It'll get you into the vibe, but it's not my favorite from her. 2 last are thrillers that just came out. So Ruth Ware's 0 Days. I'm a Ruth Ware girly through and through, and I've read all her books, and every time a new book comes out, you know, I have to go get it. I'm a fan at this point. So this definitely is not like a summer like plot or summary or vibes at all. I don't even really know what's happening. I think the main character is, it's like security and like technology and murder, mystery, you know, classic Ruth tropes, you know, but I'm just a fan. So at some point this summer I will be reading this, maybe more towards like fall when I'm trying to get into like thriller mystery like zone. And the last one is Riley Sager's newest, The Only One Left. I love this cover so much, like it just stands out, and perhaps one of my favorite Riley Sager covers. I really like the House Across the Lakes cover and like colors, but this one just like, boom, stands out. And again, not necessarily like summer, but definitely like spooky summer, fall vibe. It also takes place on the Maine coast, which is just like, summer New England vibes. And as the book says, it's about a young caregiver assigned to work for a woman accused of a Lizzie Borden-like massacre decades earlier. Say no more. So I'm really looking forward to this at some point during this summer. Possibly when I go on my trip to New England, or while I'm there, so I can be spooked out while I'm in the middle of nowhere. All right, those are all my summer reading picks, friends. Let me know what you guys are reading this summer, or what you would like to read, or what you've recently read. I know I haven't talked about books in a while on this channel, and it makes me sad. I just have not been in the mood or had the energy to do it, but I definitely want to share more books over the summer and definitely into the fall. Maybe I'm just a summer fall kind of book video person, but books. You guys, I made a thing and I'm super proud of it. I wanted to make a summer bucket list this year, which is something I think a lot of us do for the seasons, and I originally just wrote one out on a piece of paper, as one casually does, you know, no big deal. And then I got inspired from Darling Desi's her most recent summer video. I think I'll link it down below, where she does a summer bingo bucket list board. And I think she got that idea from Pinterest, and I am just adapting the idea for my own creative pursuits, and I made my own summer bingo bucket list, and I love it. I love it so much. I think this took me like 3 to 4 weeks to make, from the like initial idea to this printout that I just printed out this morning after saying this is done, this is good enough. Because I originally sketched it out in my sketchbook, which took I think a couple hours one like Saturday evening when Amanda was over, and I didn't even like color it in because it was taking a lot of time, and I knew eventually I was gonna put it into Procreate, which I did. I took a picture of this, scanned it in, and then traced, or at least used it as a guide to trace my lines and my doodle work and all of that. And that was a process in itself. That took, you know, another week or two of doing it, coming back to it, making it right, because I'm still, you know, learning how to draw, so it takes time to do these things. And then there was another phase of coloring it in and doing the outline work and shading and texture work and writing the text for all the different activities that I want to do, like going out for ice cream, going swimming, watch a thunderstorm, playing mini golf, eat watermelon, like little fun things that a lot of people might want to do this summer, and things that are very specific to me. So it was a journey to make this, and a very healing, cathartic journey, because I kind of walked away from doing digital drawings last fall, and recently have gone back into doing it and am falling back in love with it again. So I'm just proud of myself that I made something. You know, this is original, not like a draw this in your style or a reference drawing or anything, and I actually printed it out, and it's like a functional piece of art. I have a copy on my bulletin board, and my plan is when I check things off, I want to get like sticky notes or washi tape and just kind of like mark off the things that I did, so it's not like destroying the paper, but it can easily come off if I want to, you know, at the end of the summer take everything off and then just like look at this or have it. And now I want to share this with you guys. I had an idea to just share a copy of this, or that was how the idea started, and now it's turned into something where I'm gonna make a template for you guys. I'm gonna do two different options. So I'm gonna do one that's totally blank, where I'll put like dotted lines or like light faint lines in here, so you have the different spaces, but it's not like overwhelming, and you can doodle, write, draw, put stickers, paint, do whatever you want in those spaces that represents what you want to do this season. And then I think I'm going to do a second option where I'm going to leave a few doodles in that are pretty like generic summer activities that I think a lot of us would like to do, like summer reading, stargazing, watching a thunderstorm, things that, you know, don't take a lot of effort, you know, to do. So those could be for any of you that want a little like extra help getting started or ideas, or if you want a totally blank one and just do your own, there will be two options. So keep an eye out for that, because literally this idea came to me this morning after talking to Amanda, who gave me these amazing ideas. So I'm gonna put out a community post, some shorts, I'll keep you guys updated, and eventually when this idea comes to fruition, I will have the links down below. If you're watching this in the future and everything's been done, check the description box. It's probably there and you can go get a copy or not, whatever. I'm just proud of myself for making something and being able to share it. This is new for me. This is a new feeling, but it's a good feeling. So whew, I made it. Well, I made it to at least my goal for the day. I'm visiting my parents 3 hours north and really wanted to go hiking, and the weather has just been very gloomy and rainy for the past few weeks. And of course we're also having the impact of the wildfires, and the air quality's been bad, and I just needed to do this for myself. So I'm feeling so much better. I was reluctant to come out to hike today because it's gonna rain. It's actually like starting to rain right now. There's like a thunderstorm warning, and I don't really like being out in the rain. I hate getting wet, mainly because of being an eyeglass wearer, and I hate when my glasses get wet. But I think part of this summer is really embracing nature and what is, stop being so in control of things in my life. And I think a good way to work on that is being out in nature. Oh wow, there's like a big bird going by. Can't see it. But yeah, I'm coming out even though it's raining, it's going to rain. If I get wet, that's okay. I have a hat. I can put my camera in my pockets. But it feels so nice because this is like a very secluded area. A lot of the hiking areas where George and I live, you just hear cars because we're outside of the city. So like here, I feel like I'm the only one like in this mountain range. When I pulled into the parking lot, there was like one car, a couple, and they were leaving. So I was like, peace. This summer is also really about recovering from my burnout at work and just finding a new way to operate at work, but also just show up in my life. So I'm relearning things and finding ways to really promote, you know, work-life balance and just overall a new peaceful way, a quiet way of operating my life. So this is one of the ways. Also major workout because it is a climb to get up to a mountain, and I'm just at one overlook. There's another like really great overlook that I really want to go to, but I'd rather just start heading back down the mountain at this point because it is raining. Well, it's sprinkling, but this is good enough. This is still a beautiful view, even though it is blocked by the clouds and the haze. All right, back down we go. So it seems like the rain is holding off just for me, knock on wood. And as I was making my descent, I decided to just sit on this rock to continue my resting and being, because this whole day, this whole hike, I just feel like I need to get somewhere, or there's something to worry about. Oh, the rain's coming. I need to do my thing and then leave. So it's really hard to just like sit still, you know? And such is life, right? We're just going a mile a minute. It's so hard sometimes to just stop and be. So that's my lesson for the day.